Pressure growing here in Washington on the Attorney General Pam Bondi to release both the JFK and the Epstein files. Bondi says the files are, quote, sitting on her desk and she's reviewing them. The Republican Congresswoman, Anna Paulina Luna, is making it her mission to declassify the files. But she's apparently hit a roadblock with Bondi and has taken to X to air her grievance, saying, quote, on February 11th and 19th, House Oversight sent a letter to the DOJ asking for the status on releasing the Epstein files as well as JFK. Reaching out on X because we can't seem to get a response from the AG, Pam Bondi. What is the status of the documents? Now, President Trump signed an executive orders calling for the declassification of the JFK files, which could come in a matter of weeks. The FBI, by the way, recently said it discovered over 2,400 new files as part of those efforts. There was no order involving the Epstein files. Joining me now, Tracy Walder, NewsNation national security contributor, and Gerald Posner, author of Case Closed, Lee Harvey Oswald, and the Assassination of JFK. Thank you both for being here. Appreciate it. Gerald, let me start with you because you've been vocal saying Congress is wasting its time calling for a hearing on this. Why do you believe that?
Well, I think they're wasting their time, in calling for an oversight hearing on it because it's just going to be replay of things that have been covered before, but we need the documents. There are two separate issues. I want all the JFK files released. I'm interested in the Epstein files as well. I don't think that Anna Paulina Luna has it right when she says that these JFK files are sitting on Pam Bondi's desk. They're sitting in the National Archives, and it's true that the Attorney General can release the FBI portion of the files, but she can't release necessarily the objections the CIA has. She can't release the tax files, which are most of the undisclosed documents. So there are some materials, the JFK files need to be processed by a number of agencies.
Yeah,
the Epstein files, if the Attorney General has all of them, she can give it a green light and let's get it out there.
I should note that the executive order that the president signed on January 23rd called for 15 days the Office of the Director of National Intelligence to present a full and complete plan on how to release it. Tulsi Gabbard wasn't sworn in as the ODNI until February 12th. That would bring us to February 27th. So there is a little bit of time here. Tracy, I found it fascinating. You're ex-CIA along with ex-FBI. Mike Pompeo, the old CIA director, said, quote, a couple years ago, quote, there are things that happened 60 years ago that are still important to keep in the vault. There's lots of things that happened that long ago that still are appropriate not to release. Speaking of the JFK files, what do you think he meant by that?
Personally, Blake, what I think that he meant by that really had to do with the documents that came out in 2017 surrounding Lee Harvey Oswald's trip to Mexico. That was when sort of this, green light went on for me in terms of what is remaining classified. I don't think we're dealing with anything more than a lone shooter, but what I do think we may be dealing with is involvement regarding Cuba and involvement regarding Russia. And I think those can have diplomatic ramifications in regards to our relationship with those countries. If those countries potentially or allegedly participated in an assassination, a successful assassination against our president, that is going to be highly problematic moving forward. And we are at a very precarious time right now with Russia, particularly in regards to Ukraine. And so it might be a very tenuous time to release these documents.
I wonder, Tracy, when they do eventually get released, what are you looking for?
I think the biggest thing to me, and I keep talking about this over and over again, is foreign government involvement. That is my biggest thing. Again, I always feel that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. It's actually not that difficult of a shot to make. I had the opportunity to take it for a documentary that I participated in. It's not that difficult to take that shot. What I'm more concerned in is really the involvement, human assets that were involved, and the discussions that he had when he was visiting the Cuban and Russian embassies within Mexico.
Gerald, I got to run, but you say it's time for the Epstein files to come out too. Why?
But Tracy hits it on the head, by the way, about JFK. Look, the CIA might also have known how unhinged Oswald was in Mexico City. They didn't tell the FBI. They didn't share the information. I think the JFK assassination was potentially preventable. It's a question we've never addressed, and the answer may be inside those files. The Epstein files are sort of the gray, guess. It could be anything, but I see we have bipartisan support on that. Everybody from Marsha Blackburn to Ilhan Omar are asking for the Epstein files to be out. So maybe we'll actually see something coming out of the FBI on those in the near future.
All right, we'll see. I got to leave it there with both of you. Thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.